Montgomery School is a coeducational day school for pre-kindergarten through grade 8 in Chester Springs, Pennsylvania. The focus of the mission is on mind, body, and character and developing the whole child with an emphasis on respect, integrity, responsibility, and service to others.
What that means in a day-to-day level is that for mind, it's not just giving facts and getting facts back. It's about having kids really think deeply about issues and unpack issues. And it's not the who and the what, it's the why and the how.
The students here aren't just taught, here's your subject, find the answer. They're taught that they need to take it to the next step.
We have a really exciting science program at Montgomery School. We have the opportunity to work in small groups and have a hands-on program where skills are really emphasized. For us, it's really important that the students have experiential activities where they can relate what they're learning to the real world.
I love Montgomery School because they're able to really appreciate the individual in my child, and they don't get lost in a sea of 30 children, and that enables each teacher to really get to know my child. When I go in for conferences and talk to these teachers, they know my child. They know my child almost as well as I know my child sometimes, and that is something I know that I couldn't get anywhere else.
Montgomery School allows our daughter to think freely. Her ideas are embraced, so she is allowed to basically become the person she is.
We love to bring out the greatness that is inside of each child. Each child has a great level of creativity. As they are younger, they are so much more free to express it. As they grow old, sometimes that freedom gets caught up into things that are part of life. But the great part about Montgomery is we know that. We capture those things, and we still allow them to have that same creativity that they had when they were young, allow it to develop and not allow it to be suppressed or to be hidden.
And body is so all-encompassing in everything we do, whether it's a walk to the creek in the middle of the day for science class or getting on the floor and playing with, Singapore math manipulatives. It's really the whole experience of getting the kids to move in their learning. And we're very conscious, especially with young children, that they need to move in order to best learn.
The community aspect of the Montgomery School is also very important to us. It's one of the most enriching aspects to the educational experience for our children and for our family overall. It's interesting to watch all of the parents within the community and the broader community at large get involved with large events, smaller events. It shows a passion for the school, the education, and a real focus on our children and how they develop as individuals.
I'd say probably the biggest transformation I see is a development of confidence, self-awareness. The students not necessarily always come in as shy and reserved kindergartners, but I think we especially do a good job with those students who may not notice their full potential. We really do help them to understand what their strengths are and really be able to succeed in those and really be able to put those strengths forward.
Our mission is full of so many wonderful components, and I think a piece that I love is the pre-kindergarten to grade 8 experience of our students. And with that, it really guards childhood, and it allows our middle school students to still be children and not constantly try to be someone they're not. And when they end here, that success and confidence that they leave with through the mission of strong mind, body, and character, developing that whole child, the child just leaves as such an amazing young adult ready to tackle those challenges in high school. And they do it with such poise and strength and confidence to take on those risks that they may not have when they started at Montgomery.
My outlook for my daughter's future has transformed because Montgomery gives you an outlook on life that has broadened her horizons. It has opened up a lot of doors, and she's able to go wherever she wants to go. The sky's the limit.
Montgomery believes in having every child be themselves, and they're not trying to make the child to be a specific mold. With that, it builds self-confidence and self-esteem, and it's just an enjoyable place to be.
I think developing the character of a child is so very important, especially in today's society. There's so much out there that our kids are exposed to, but if they have a strong, rich foundation, they'll be able to handle those situations with maturity and insight and clarity. We give our kids so many opportunities here, whether it's in the lunchroom helping to clear the tables or getting up at chapel. We just build that from the get-go. They are up there, they speak so well, they're so confident. So it's all these little opportunities that we afford our kids here that you wouldn't get elsewhere.
The values that Montgomery has instilled are just immeasurable. The self-confidence and the self-esteem that my son has now in going to Montgomery, being in a public school where it was overcrowded and he couldn't be himself. And here, everybody is accepted. Everybody encourages the other students. With that comes a self-confidence and self-esteem, and it just builds character. They're able to be more accepting of others and to be better people.
It is a lot to send 3 kids to private school, but right away we knew our decision was correct. We saw the return of our investment almost immediately. And anytime you go to a chapel here, I think everyone kind of walks away thinking, money well spent. This is why we send our children here, and this is why we make the sacrifices we make to send them to private school.
I didn't grow up going to an independent school. I had no idea when we came here as a family what it really took to educate a child in an independent school. This is a really special place, and the experiences that our children have are unlike any other, but it costs a lot of money to provide all of the wonderful things that our children are exposed to. Yes, it's an investment. But what we didn't realize is that because the school is a nonprofit organization, that tuition does not cover all of the expenses. In fact, tuition only covers about 90% of the actual expenses. That's why the annual fund is so important. It bridges the gap between the actual cost of educating a child here at Montgomery and the cost of tuition. That gap is about $1,600 a student.
The Office of Development is responsible for really advancing the mission of Montgomery School. The annual fund is a philanthropic priority for the school, and we ask everybody in the community to make that their priority in giving.
Giving to the annual fund also shows a responsibility that we should have as people in society to give back to schools, to give back to charities, to give back to organizations that help people. So giving back to your individual school is something that everybody should do.
So whatever speaks to you about Montgomery School is what should speak to you about contributing to the annual fund. It's vital to the health and well-being of our school. It's an exciting opportunity to continue to support the excellence that our children are exposed to every day.